Hi, welcome back to How to Use CAD. This is lesson 2 of our house extension layout plans. If you recall, the project was a 1-bedroom flat in London Southwest 12, and we are converting to a 2-bedroom flat, in effect adding a rear wraparound extension. So in the last lesson we created the existing plans, and this lesson we're going to create the proposed plans. And how we start that is to make a copy of the existing plans and just paste. We're going to keep this as simple as possible so that everybody can keep up. Right, so the brief was to extend and get an additional bedroom. So at the moment, that's the bedroom, and that's the bathroom here on the back addition. So what we want to do is extend this area and do a wraparound by going out here as well. So what that would mean is that the kitchen breakfast area can kind of move up a bit, and we will try to squeeze a bedroom in on the side. So let's see what we can do. So be prepared for an element of going back and forward. It's very rare that we can get it right first time, as there's an element of trial and error to get the layout that we want. What we generally do is start with the outside walls and just get the overall space going. Now, on the side extension here, as you can see, we have a boundary line there. Now that boundary line runs down the center of the existing party wall. So any new extension, we won't be able to build astride the boundary line. What we have to do is build all of the wall on our side of the boundary line. So if you recall, on the existing property, the wall size is about 250. But on the new walls, what we're going to have to do, they're going to have to meet building regs, and for that they're going to be a little bit wider. So let me move in a bit here and we'll see what it is we're going to do. So let me just get rid of these doors for a while. Don't need the doors in the way there. Now, so if this would be the external part of the wall, and a new wall would be, we're doing a blockwork wall, which is 100mm blockwork and then 100mm cavity filled with insulation, and then an inner layer of blocks, another 100. So effectively 300, but we also have to allow for rendering and plastering. So effectively what we do there is allow 340. So we're going to allow 340 and come in tab 340. Here we go. The walls are substantially different. We're going to go down there somewhere. I think from a planning point of view, because this has to go through a planning application to get the wraparound. Just in case you didn't know, any extension to a flat or a leasehold property will necessitate a planning application, even though it's only 1 meter, etc. All flats need planning applications. So because it's a small garden, let's start off with 2 meters and see how that works out. Probably need to extend a bit more. And that's our boundary line. Now 2 meters also includes the wall. So we're coming back in, tab 340. So now we're getting the external layout for the property. Right. Come on now, don't be shy. Connect up. So let's bring that line back and get rid of that. There we go. Same applies now on the other side. It's we've got the boundary line, but we have to build all of the extension on our side of the property. So effectively our side of the boundary line, tab 340. can do this any way you want as long as you get the job done. It's absolutely fine. Put that down there for a minute. It'll always be some people that say, well, why is he doing it like this? Actually, I'm doing it in a variety. I'm doing everything in a variety of different ways, simply because it's important that you see that there is more than one way of doing anything. Right, so the best way for me to click on that would be start again up here, come back down. Line goes to there, that's near. There are, of course, times when you can actually build half of the extension wall on your neighbour's property, and that's when you do your party wall agreement. You have to work that out. In fact, you get permission. It can be part of the party wall agreement. So let me just clear some of these outside walls now. This one we know is going to go there for now, and this one back to here. This we don't need, so we have to decide. So now, as you can see, we've added on 2 meters at the back, and approximately, how much is it on the side? How much space are we gaining? Well, we're going to take most of this wall out, so let's just see out of interest how much space we're getting. We're getting down the bottom here about 1.4 meters. It doesn't sound a lot, but it can have a massive impact on the actual flat, and of course it makes a difference between whether you can achieve what you want or not. Just add a little extra meter, and in this case it does make the difference. So we just move anything out of the way here that we don't need. We'll be using these later on, I imagine. So some of the elements, just move them out of the way. We can delete later on if we don't need. So internal walls here, we don't need any of these, that's for sure. Just close that up. And now, new regs, new building regs, with regard to light and space, means that we don't build from this point forward anymore, in the sense that we used to do, we'd fill in the side, all of the side, and create a side extension, and you just walk into it here. But new building regs, which relate to getting light into this room, make a determination that we now need to leave a light well, and the light well needs to be, say, you could argue with it, but say 2 meters. So tab 2. So now we do the light well. Again, we're looking at 340 now for all of the outside walls. Yeah, so let's see if we can get our layout. And once we get our layout, then we can start looking at the structural elements and how best to reduce any outlay for our client. Where possible, if it's possible to save a bit of money by tweaking this or tweaking that, then we will certainly look to do so. So that line doesn't need to be there. Back on the boundary. Okay, so that's the new layout. We'll look at the doors again later on. This is going to be a light well, so it's outside, external, and I would imagine that maybe we haven't gone far enough here. We might need to go a bit more, but we'll see. Again, we go back to the client. So it's always great having a copy of the old plan or the existing plans there when you're working, because you can, you're looking at it and you think, wow, I'm not going to be able to achieve this or that. So you can see straight away that doesn't look exactly right, so just touch here. Right, so bathroom in this area, that's an absolute sure. So let's see if we can run the partition down. So it wouldn't make sense then to carry this wall in here, but this element of the wall would be tab 150. Right, that's our bathroom. So it's quite a generous bathroom, that's for sure. I think what's becoming clear already is 2 meters isn't going to cut it for us. We're going to have to go back a wee bit more. So just to get it, we're trying to get a double bedroom here, so the minimum double bedroom is about 11 by 11 or 3.4 by 3.3. So if we go absolute minimum here, let's see how we get on. 3.2, tab 3200, and as you can see, that's our bedroom. So this is not going to cut it at all. Going to have to do a decent size extension to be able to make this happen. So again, this can be a partition wall, tab 150. And then the kitchen minimum, you're looking at least 3 meters, maybe 3 point. So we're looking, let's see what 3.3, tab 3300 would look like. Proportionality. Can we get away with that? Oh, I think we can get away with that. Yeah, right. It's all about proportion. You can't really have, call it a 2-bedroom flat if the bedrooms are really tiny. Right. It looks like we've now built, the new extension is going to take over most of the new patio. So that'll, basically we'll be adding on a new patio. So right, let's see if we can get this structure sorted out. We've got the outline now, which is great. Need that. I've gone all silent for a few moments. That's fine. Right, so again, generous bedroom now, width-wise, because the hallway is quite wide, everything's quite wide. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep this line going. Let's see what happens by keeping this line going. Well, I say keeping the line going, what I meant was not not the specific line, a new line, but keep the hallway basically the same width. And here we go. What have I done? What have I done? Here we go. Back. Right. Square corners, I'm not a big fan, but we can look at that later on when we're trying to finesse the project. So shape-wise, let's see how we're doing. Are we achieving our goal? Okay, so what we now have a 2-bedroom flat with a decent sized bathroom, decent sized second bedroom. My question is that long enough? Is the kitchen deep enough? And looking at it, well, I'd like to get a little bit more. That's my view. Just like to get that a little bit more. So question is, how far out are we going? Okay, let's really looking for generous kitchen. Perhaps that's too generous. Okay, well, let's just see what we're doing here. 3.7. So it's 4085. Well, I would imagine let's do a 4-meter extension, and that finishes it. So a 4-meter extension from the bedroom. Tab 4, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 4 meters. There we go. Almost. So as I said earlier in this video, there'll be an element of going back and forth to try to get what we want. Now, proportion wise, that looks excellent. And if I was to draw a line just over here, let's just check what the overall size of my extension is, because I have to consider planning. And we're 5'8". Okay, well, we know we can do 6 meters if the garden's big enough, and this garden's mighty big enough. And I've had loads of extensions done where we've managed to get 6 meters. And if the other flats or the other leaseholders don't argue, then it should go through under an enlarged extension application. So. And of course, if things changed and we just didn't get permission for 6 meters, we can always look to bring it down to 5. But I think ideally, for the sake of a few £100, or for the sake of putting in the application and waiting a little bit longer, let's go with what we would ideally like and see if the local planning department will wear it. And I'm fairly comfortable that they will, and that we would get permission for this. So that is our layout. Now it's a question of sorting out the kitchen, windows, doors, etc. When it comes to the doors for the back, these are really important because they set the tone for the whole extension from both inside and outside. What's very popular, and has been for a few years now, is the full height doors, and usually finished with anthracite grey, which is the dark grey, and most certainly aluminium, which gives strength, and a slim frame. Those are the elements that the clients discuss. Those are the elements that I've discussed with the client, and we're going to go for these. And what we want to do is minimize the return on either side of the back wall here. And I say minimize, we could actually do full width, but then there's going to be structural issues, meaning it's going to raise the costs. And if we can actually do 600 inside or 650 inside, that will reduce the structural costs, because it means that we probably won't require underpinning in this section or either here. So when I say underpinning, meaning additional amounts of concrete on this section, like usually it's a meter cube if there's only a small bit of wall that the steel is resting on. But for here, so we're going to go on 650. So let's do that. Let's cut it on 650 and see where we are. 650. And likewise here. There's also what's also a consideration, of course, is that the kitchens, the depth of the kitchens is generally, let's just trim this and get it done. The depth of the kitchen units is around 600, 610. And by the time you put a little worktop on, you might be 625, 630 in total. So what you don't want is the kitchen coming or projecting further than the return here. So as an example, if I use 630, tab 630 as the worktop, oops, that's clicked on the wrong one, I'd say, tab 630, there we go. Nope. Too many lines here. There we go. Lose that one. These are good, looking good. So that's actually the line for the kitchen worktop there. And likewise it'd be the same here, because the client is looking at a kitchen run down that side as well. Tab 630. There we go. So basically here, and this is going to be an L shape here. We're not doing an island here, we just don't have the space for it. Tab 630, just don't have that space. By the time you get a dining table in and units on either side, this doesn't need to come the whole way, so I suggest just step in a bit for now, and when it comes to finessing the actual kitchen design, we'll just keep it in a bit here. So the passage coming in here is you're not running into the side of the kitchen, etc. Now this element of kitchen here could effectively run a little bit down, so let's could effectively run into the hallway a little. That's basically what I'm saying. It doesn't have to end up dead line with the kitchen, so we put it here generally. So there you have your kitchen layout. Presentation wise, you don't want to walk in and be looking at the sink, so I'd be advocating the sink, the hob oven at this point, and the sink on this end. But we'll bring those elements in a little while. Let's just sort out the layout and then get the doors in. I think that would be quite useful. Now, do we need a door from the hallway into the kitchen? Well, fire regs would like a fire door here, and we can put them in wherever we see fit. Also, we need a door into the bedroom. Will be probably, I would imagine, here. That would make sense. So let's get the bedroom door in to start with. Right, let's get this bedroom door on. Bedroom door. So to do that, simplest way, we'll do a bit of trimming first. So if we get a rectangle, make it the size of a bathroom door or a standard door. And we'll go tab 762, tab 762. So there you go. So if we pop this down, we do a bit of trimming here. That's about right. Modify, object trim. Yeah, that's looking good. So go back to lines. So I notice I keep going to the left today to get my lines. Of course I can go here, and perhaps I should be. What I find is over a period it swings in and out. To be for weeks I'll be using one side and then it'll switch. So now that's the bedroom door opening. So we'll do all our openings. We've got the kitchen to the patio, got the bedroom, now the bathroom. Well, I want a tub behind the door, and the standard tub would be, let's see, 700 wide. And what's the length? Oh, 2315. I'm wondering if we can get a more generous tub in. Let's see if we can do that. Let's do 800 and see what happens. See how it looks. Tab 800. Walk in, see, yeah, let's go for an 800 tub. So that being the case, my door would need to be about here. So get a door in, object trim. Get rid of that. Right, now we need a fire door between the kitchen and the hallway, because it's flats and certainly will need it. So I would imagine we're going to have to put the bedroom from the hallway, again fire regs. So let's see how we're going to do this. Yeah, so make the hallway a little bit bigger. Okay, becoming clear. We go across here. Tab 150. Okay. So again, let's have the door here, which means let's do it that way. Right, object trim, modify, object trim. There we go. Cool. Yeah, we're getting there. Up. Existing bedroom door. Sorry, that's the bathroom door. Existing bedroom door. We have, so we don't need to touch that. All the work is being done here. So now we've got our openings, and this area now has become part of the hallway. Going down into the cellar, that's a substandard layout. It's most certainly a substandard layout. So what I want to do is I want to redo it. So the whole thing here, I want to redo it. The other thing is a bit of a broom cupboard, a bit of a cupboard we can do. So if we, for example, extend, say 700, tab 700, and this one we can tab 1, make it a little bit tighter. In other words, we use a 3-inch stud work here, and it means that the cupboard will be just a touch bigger. So we go 100, tab 1. Cupboard space is something that we always try to build in wherever we can, because we all need that storage space. That's an absolute fact. So as pretty as the places look, and great that they look good and that the design is good, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, you need a bit of cupboard space. So now this can be smack bang in the middle here. That will look good aesthetically. So modify, object trim, and we'll put the door on here rather than in the cellar, or rather than in the hallway side where it's a bit less space, harder access. Okay, now because it's a cupboard, we can put this door on it, but not that particular door, as we need one that's handed the other way. And now you remember how to do this. Put that one here and move it so that it snaps. There we go. Right. So what's next? Ideally, let's get the outer doors done. So for the French doors from the bedroom, we can just borrow these doors now. Again, make a copy. There's no reason why we can't do it. Still need them. This time just do it freehand. Okay, just to show you that there are alternative ways of doing it. Move this one back. Right, now this is the well, so bathroom. So we're going to have a tub here, so the window would be on this side. Put in, doesn't have to be a huge window, but if we did something like a 600, 650, let's go down there and change the size of this. 650, tab 650, tab. So now we put a window in on this side. Modify, object trim. There we go. So we're ready for a window. Yeah, windows are always interesting because depending on the style of the window. So for example, average window, the thickness is about 100 mil. So do you sight it on the inside or the outside? If you sight it on the outside, then you have the reveal inside. If you sight it on the inside, then the reveal is on the outside. So it's always difficult. But on generally speaking, on modern double glazed windows, we set those approximately 35 mil back, which means that this center thing doesn't work. So let me just do a double line here, double line, and we go tab -100. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the reveal on the inside, and if we're doing this the way I like to do it, we're going to do tab 50, tab 50. Just have to bear with me here. Always like putting in the sills on the outside. Inside, not particularly concerned, but the outside, I think it does work better. So there we go. Needs to be back again. So tab 50. There we go. Right. So now usually there's a bit of framework here. Tab, let's assume it's 50. Yeah. Bit of framing. It's up to you what you do in this regard. People do the windows. Some people didn't give it no emphasis at all. Whereas it's where we use our own style and whatever suits us, as long as we communicate. There's a window there. Tab 50. That's what it's all about. Me, I try to please the eye as well, but also to communicate the design as well as possible. So that's not a sash window. If that was a sash window now, it would be sitting flush with the inside wall and all the sill would be the outside. But if it's a modern window, like a casement, magnet and southern timber window, or a UPVC window, it would sit about 30-35 mil inside from the outer line, and that's pretty good demonstration. So that'll be obscure glass anyway, but that's the light well. So in other words, you got a proper window, openable window coming into the bathroom, and we've got a set of French doors going into that bedroom. So now what we want is our double glazed aluminium. But before we do that, let's just pop these doors into the bedroom and bathroom. So if we swing that around, right, so again, if we get the D, and let's see if we can get it to snap. There we go, that snaps. We're going to do likewise in the entrance to the kitchen. Control C, Control V. Get the door going the right way. Make it snap from where we want. Where am I? Snapping there. And we get the bathroom door to do, which is similar door. Let's make it snap again. There we go. So that's all our doors in, with the exception of the doors to the garden. And these are going to be a little bit different. So basically the doors to the garden are broken up into 4 sections, 4 equal sections. So it's going to be custom here. So let's do a little bit something simple. There we go, that's the middle. That's the middle. Done that the wrong way around. So that's 4 sections. 4 accurate sections as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look in our archive to see if we have some doors we can use. So let's have a look. File, open, clients, resources. So bathroom doors, doors, doors. Doors elevation. Doors plan. Let's see what that brings up and see what it has that we can use. There we go. Various doors. Anything there we can use? Yeah, there you go. That's what we want. Or not. Is that it? 2 fixtures and 2 openers. That's what we're doing. So that doesn't work. So 2 fixtures and 2 openers. Yeah, let's dispense with that. And we go back and we're going to do it by freehand. So let's just get the width here. Every door. And again, these doors are set 30 to 40 mil in. So if we come in 30 to 40, tab, say 30, and then put a line across. Make them 100. Tab 100. So this is the overall size of the doors. Got the spacing. So again here, tab 50. And tab 50. Yeah, okay, let's do the same on the other side. So we're just making up a little bit of framing here for the door. It's slimline aluminium, but get the layouts right and we'll be absolutely fine. So don't need that, in fact. Don't need that. Right. So these are fixtures, so we need to demonstrate that. Oh, I made a mistake there. Let's just wind it back. That's unlike the old days when you were drawing with pen and paper or pencil and paper. If you made a mistake, you had to get the rubber out. So it's a hell of a lot easier now. So now what we do is we do a line on these to emphasize a glazed unit. And let's see what the distance is here. Distance is 1097. Okay, so 1097. Tab 1097, tab 4, 5. So could have just copied and pasted, but for those that forget things, so many ways of doing the same thing. 1097, that's the door. So tab 1097. So I'm just getting the size for my, there we go. That comes back to there. Don't need this one. Oops. Go again. Been having fun with this lately. Perfect. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right, we need another set of doors. So for that I go here, mirror image, and get rid of the other set. And you can also do this freehand. But as you can see, it's a little bit more difficult. But I'm just showing you that it is possible with reasonable accuracy to get it in place. But where it's important, use the D. Yeah, just press the letter D, and move it to there, and then get it to snap. There you go. Okay, that's good enough. So bathroom and kitchen is next. Okay, so let's get a bathroom and kitchen in. Oh, no. We have a window to do, window for the bedroom. So that's also important. So what kind of window we're going to do? Let's do the same type. Control C, Control V. Once you've done one window on a drawing, you don't need to be doing too many more. Now the difficulty here is that we're not the same size, as in the wall is not the same size. So, but it's near enough. A little bit of modification. We got ourselves a window. These houses, generally, these houses are pretty cold. There was no insulation whatsoever when they were built. and they're all looking lovely now inside, and they're all looking plush, but there's still no insulation, which means they're freezing. And the warmest part of this flat when we finish will be the back addition, and that's why a lot of people love the new extensions and love the back addition. Right, so shall we put the names back in before we do kitchen and bathroom? Let's do that. Did I save them? Nope. All right. Okay, that's about it. That's about it now for proposed. I'm quite happy with that. Just didn't do that right, so let's just fix that. Bathroom and of course bedroom 2. Double click brings up the properties. Just change the text. Right, so let me just roughly run through it. So we've got the kitchen to design, we have the bathroom to design, but the general layout is about it. So we're for the next tutorial, what we're going to do is bathroom, kitchen, and then we'll tidy up the back. We'll get a patio, have a look at a few other little bits and pieces to refine the drawing, little bits and pieces to make it more elegant, to communicate the design well. But for now, that's it on lesson number 2. So see you at the next lesson. Thank you for joining me. Over the next few months, How to Use CAD will be creating tutorials on how to design extensions, loft conversions, kitchens, bathrooms, new builds, and a wide range of refurbishment projects. These kind of tutorials will give you a real-life insight into how we do a measured survey, create existing layout plans, and then walk you through the way we create new layouts to satisfy the most demanding clients. We will also show you how to save money on larger projects through the use of creative design and a good understanding of the building costs. In effect, you will be looking over our shoulder and see how our projects come to life. Once we are happy with the new layouts, we will then walk you through the planning application process and show you how to provide all you need for a valid planning application. Once we have a planning approval, we will need to prepare building regulation drawings, and for this phase we will teach you how to create detailed drawings and detailed sections for foundations, floors, roofs, electrical, heating, drainage, and everything else you need to get approval from building control. These kind of CAD tutorials are simply not available on YouTube or anywhere else. They will be an enormous help for anyone interested in developing their CAD skills, as well as showing them the process of creating and developing their building projects.